will speak about, like my granny, and like how like she's 92 and like her like aging, like she's 92, like she's so much older than me. She's lived like my life over and over again. Like she's really like shaped the way that I think about aging and like personality and like being yourself. Like my granny is herself. She's so herself. She always has been, like she always will. Like she's so witty, she's so fast, she's so quick. Like she like does words every day. Like I taught her how to do it and she does it every day, and then she posts it on Facebook, and then like we all comment on it, and like some of my family, like if they do it or like if I do it, like we'll post our own, so you can see like she's like, oh, I got it in 2 this week, like all this stuff. Like when I think of aging, I think of my granny, and when I think of my granny's aging, it just makes me like happy to do that. Like
you've probably not thought of this either, but looking specifically at elder care, so residential care, for instance, do you think there are issues there for queer people?
I think that it can have a lot to do with perceptions of like maybe the care systems or people that work in care of elderly, and how like their identities, like I think a lot of the time like identities are quite stripped from people in care, like for different reasons. Like they might mentally not be able to like care for themselves, or might have to have someone like making decisions like for them, like children or partners or anything like that. So I think it's quite difficult, like, or not quite difficult, I think that care systems and like people who work in care might have like certain biases and like not even hatred, but just like it's bias, like that's the best word I can use to describe it, about like elderly and autonomy and their identity. Like I don't know, like a queer elderly person is just as queer as anyone. Like I'm not the one to decide that. Like obviously, like that's a fact. I'm not saying that as like my opinion at all. Like that's like a queer person's a queer person. Doesn't matter what age they are. But obviously that can like impact like care if like even assumptions, like it's that like small like even if they're like, oh, my partner died when, like if they're in care and they're old and they're like, oh, my partner died 10 years ago or something like that, and they're like, oh, like what age was he, or like, and they're like, no, she was, and then it's just like that having to like build upon and like because of like small like ideas of like who people are is difficult. Like it's difficult for like elder, like queer elder like care.